This isn't necessarily a video I anticipated actually making, but I've got nothing better to do, and I think it's a good idea, even though most people that watch my channel probably already know what my plans are. Now that Hollow Knight is done, it's about time I focus on the future of the channel, what comes next, and kind of just push everything that I had been planning on doing to the wayside. And by that, I mean a lot of my previous playthroughs, Let's Plays, whatever, are technically incomplete just because something happened during the recording process, or maybe, I don't even know if Pokemon Insurgence is still up on my channel, but that one got cut short. Celeste, I still have to do all the B and C sides, then finish the game. What else is there? Like various minor videos, like Sonic Forces I need to finish because I think the last episode there got copyright struck at first, so I had to delete it. And then there's Brothership. I will not be finishing Mario and Luigi Brothership on my channel. I'll be finishing it on my own time, but I don't see much merit in trying to finish it. The problem is that it's a ratio of how much time it takes to produce versus how much I'm getting to play the game, if that makes sense. I just am getting through the game too slowly to truly appreciate it. And the editing style that I've been using for stuff like Brothership, Hollow Knight, that started with, of all things, the Genshin Impact Aranara quest, I just don't think it's for me. I got the idea to use that style from Choctopus, actually, who is a fairly good YouTuber compared to me. But I just don't have that time to do that kind of editing. And if I wanted to add my own personal flair, which I often do, I just don't have the skills with DaVinci Resolve to do it. I can remember in Hollow Knight, actually, there was one moment where I wanted to have the screen follow the shade as it did a dive in like one of the last couple of episodes, but I couldn't get it to work, so I just didn't. But with Brothership specifically, I want to finish it on my own time, and I want to just fast track my channel into its next era of sorts. Which I say, but I'm actually going to be having my own little intermission on the channel of sorts. I will be playing through Xenoblade Chronicles X in its entirety, probably 100%, we'll see if I can manage that. And this time, for real, it will be largely uncut. I think I did a similar type of thing, I think, for Hades 2, which is another series that is technically unfinished, but I'm probably not going to be making videos on that again unless it's a challenge run, which goes into the future of the channel beyond Xenoblade X, which could very well end up taking me several months to do. I have a multitude of video ideas in the back of my head, most of which have ended up being Xenoblade challenge run ideas. A lot of them very similar, but will have very different execution at the end of the day. So I will likely end up deviating towards a challenge run type of YouTube channel. Now, that's not to say I'll never do some like random one-off videos. Like, I've got Rocket League footage in the background. I want to play Rocket League on the channel at some point, I'm sure. Because I enjoy Rocket League. I enjoy these multiplayer games that I'm not doing regular challenge runs of. And I want to play them. I might want to make a video on them. But for the most part, I will be focusing my efforts on one video per game of challenge runs of games that I enjoy. Maybe blind ones at some point, but I think for the most part, I'm done with blind playthroughs. I just don't think my brain functions in a way where I can willingly look at myself play a game blind and leave moments out. And my brain doesn't process things in a way that lets me verbalize what I'm thinking all the time. And I noticed that a lot with Hollow Knight specifically, is that I'd often start a thought and then I never finish it because my brain has already finished it and wants to just process things. The format will be simple. If you notice my Xenoblade 2 videos, which I will be finishing after Xenoblade X, it's a scripted form of content where I play through a certain amount of the game. In that series, I go over the story in very major detail, but that will not be the case for the future videos. I'll go over them in some detail, but If I had to give it a comparison, I'm probably going to be very similarly copying the style of someone like, say, the Batlodge, just maybe to a lesser degree because I don't have his talent. And the very first challenge run I planned to do initially was going to be a Dark Souls one, which is what Batlodge is known for. It was going to be a run where I played with whatever the heaviest weapon I could get at any point in time was. When I thought about that more and more, I realized it wasn't a very interesting concept, though, because I'd only be able to play with like 2 or 3 weapons, and yes, you can beat the game with the big long stick, everyone does. So instead, we're going to an actual challenge run idea that I think will be interesting to see play out, but may take me quite a while to produce. It'll be Xenoblade Chronicles 3, but I'm not allowed to use any attackers, and it'll be on hard mode. With this format, I'm expecting maybe like hour-long videos, but I'll also only be able to produce maybe one a month. If I'm good enough at the games, we'll have to see. It's something to workshop in the future. And again, this isn't to say that I won't ever do one-off videos. I'm going to have random ideas pop into my head at some point. That's just how I am. I'm an ideas man rather than a doers man. But I'm finally going to be making that transition after Xenoblade X. I should realistically just be making the transition now, but I really want to play Xenoblade X, and I really want my first time playthrough of a Xenoblade game on the channel. And I figure Xenoblade X, it's a game that I've wanted to play for years, and it's finally time to. And by finally time to, I mean I have to go to work in like an hour, so that's gonna have to wait. Something else, after this year, if I haven't really made much progress in terms of like view count, consistent view counts, subscribers, whatever, I will probably have to consider full-time stopping my YouTube content. It just takes too much time, too much energy, and it's an added stressor that I don't necessarily need. Although part of that stress has been part of because I do these like super long form, takes me multiple months to do, and I only make a couple hours of progress at a time. Like Brothership, I think, is a great example. I was doing that for however many months already, a couple of months at least. I'm not even halfway through the game. If I were just doing a normal Let's Play, I would have been so much further through the game. It's a style that I can't sustain because of who I am. And I'm hoping that a more scripted style of content with games I am familiar with will be better for both me as a person and my content. But that's what we'll have to find out later. I don't know if there's anything else I have to say. I didn't properly script this out. I just put down 4 bullet points of what I wanted to talk about, and I feel like I've gone completely off the rails. But yeah, I'd say that was somewhat productive. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you probably tomorrow or later today with Xenoblade X.